tale of Ignatius Ezekaria Anwuanwu. In every land, there are names people whisper with trembling lips, names that carry the weight of fear and misery. In Umaka village, that name was Ignatius Ezekaria Anwuanwu. He was not just an ordinary man. His story was woven with thunder, fire, and strange shadows. He was a man who desired to own the whole land, even if it meant ending the lives of others. For 19 years, his power ruled like an iron hand. But every darkness has its morning, and every strange covenant has its expiring date. This is the story of his rise, his dark attempt, and his final shameful fall. Ignatius Ezekaria Anwuanwu was born in the season when the rivers overflowed and the farmland were green. But from the day of his birth, old women noticed something unusual. His cry was not like the cry of other babies. They said it echoed like a drum in the spirit world. As a boy, he was never satisfied with the games of farming. While other children chased grasshoppers in the field, he sat under the iroko tree, staring into the distance as if speaking with unseen beings. He carried an aura that made other children avoid him. Dogs barked when he passed, and even ghosts would scatter from his path. When his father tried to teach him how to farm, Ignatius refused. He would vanish for days only to return with strange marks on his body. Rumors spread that he was visiting forbidden shrines across 7 kingdoms. As he grew, it became clear Ignatius had chosen the path of strange power. He visited river shrines at midnight, desert shrines at noon, and mountain altars in the dead of Harmattan. In each place, he tied himself into a binding covenant. He gave promises, and in return, powers were handed to him. From that time, his eyes glowed in the dark, and his words carried force. The wind answered when he spoke, and even thunder would roll when he raised his staff. But the price of this covenant was heavy. The kingdoms gave him 90 years to enjoy, after which they would demand him back. From then on, Umaka village knew no peace. Villagers began to disappear mysteriously. Farmers who once harvested baskets of yam suddenly lost their strength. Youth who dreamt of greatness found themselves crawling in circles. Women lost their joy. Men lost their dignity. In every family, there was sorrow. In every compound, there was mourning. Yet nobody could openly accuse Ignatius Ezekaria Anwuanwu. Whenever anyone tried, strange thunder would strike near their huts, and the next day they would vanish. Fear covered the land like Harmattan fog. At night, people locked their doors early, whispering, "May Anwuanwu not pass our way tonight." Even his own children did not escape his wickedness. He bound their destinies so that none of them could prosper. His sons farmed, but their crops withered. They started business, but everything collapsed. His daughters married, but the marriage broke like lepers. When they cried to him, he laughed and said, "As long as I live, no child of mine will rise above me. You will all remain under my feet." Indeed, his house was filled with misery, but he thrived in his evil. Years rolled by. Ignatius was no longer young. His hair was as white as cotton, but he still walked like a lion. People wondered, how can a 90-year-old still move with energy of youth? But those who understood knew the truth. His 90 years were almost complete. The kingdoms that gave him power would soon demand his soul. Yet Ignatius was not ready. No, he planned to cheat the covenant. He plotted to renew his life using a pure soul, the life of a virgin baby. In one corner of the village, there lived a young couple known for their fiery prayer life. They prayed in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night. Their voices were like trumpets that shook the atmosphere. They had just welcomed their first child, a beautiful baby wrapped in innocence. That child became the target of Ignatius Ezekaria Anwuanwu. One night, he moved like a shadow, his staff in hand, chanting strange words. The ground shook under his feet as he approached the hut of the baby. Inside, the baby slept peacefully, but the parents prayed in the next room. Suddenly, the mother saw a vision, a tall dark figure bending over her child. She shouted, "Holy fire!" and her husband joined, their voice like thunder. Ignatius strengthened his hand towards the child, but fire flashed in the room. He staggered. He called upon his seven kingdoms, but the heaven answered louder. Thunder roared without rain. Lightning flashed across the roof. Dogs barked madly in the compound. The baby cried, and the cry was not ordinary. It was like a trumpet of war. The parents prayed hotter. Every chain break, every covenant scatter, every darkness catch fire. Ignatius screamed. His staff shook in his hand. Sweat poured like rain. For the first time in 90 years, his power failed him. Chains began to snap in the spirit. Across the village, youths who had been bound felt sudden release. Farmers saw vision of green harvest. Women who had been barren dreamt of children. Joy returned like sunrise. Anwuanwu roared into the night, but the heaven did not answer him. The same kingdom he trusted turned their backs. From that night, Ignatius began to waste away. His body grew weak, his voice cracked, his face wrinkled like old leather. When he crossed into his 91st year, the covenant clock struck. His kingdom came to demand him. He tried to resist, but there was no strength left. He staggered into the village square, staff in hand, trembling like a dry leaf in harmattan wind. People gathered, shook to see the once feared man in such a pitiful state. Then, before all eyes, Ignatius Ezekaria Anwuanwu began to confess. His voice trembled. "It is I am the one behind your struggle. I ended youths. I tied your destinies. I changed his land for 90 years." Gasps filled the air. Women wept. Men shouted. Some fell to the ground in shock. But Anwuanwu continued. "I made a covenant with seven kingdoms. I demanded power, and they gave it. But in return, I gave them this village. I am the reason no youth could prosper, the reason your children suffered, the reason your farms dried." He revealed names of those he ended, secrets of the shrines he visited, even the spell he cast over the land. His tongue could not stop until every hidden thing was exposed, and then his voice broke. His staff slipped from his hand. He slumped to the ground. No thunder answered him this time. No kingdom came to rescue him. His thread scattered like dust in the wind. Ignatius Ezekaria Anwuanwu disappeared into silence, leaving behind only his shame. And the proverb said, "No matter how long the night runs, the morning will surely catch it." From that day, Umaka village breathed again. Youth rose, farmers prospered, women rejoiced, children danced in the street. The name Anwuanwu, once feared, became a lesson for generations. Elders would tell their children, "Do not follow the path of Ignatius Ezekaria Anwuanwu, for evil may run fast, but good will always catch it."